From the mountains to the streams, and from the forests to the oceans, we live on an amazing planet. We will explore the many species and inhabitants of our world in this new series called Life on Flat Earth. Today we find ourselves at Wollongong Harbour. We are looking at another species from the genus Cuccus erectus. This species is called Cuccus maritimus, and the subspecies is called a scrote. The interesting thing about the scrote is that its testicles are attached to its face rather than the groin area. Another name for the scrote is chin balls. Let's have a closer look at the scrote. A couple of things stand out immediately when observing the scrote. Firstly, it lives most of its time on a boat. Secondly, it appears mostly naked as it roams around. And thirdly, it gives itself grandiose nicknames. Here we witness the scrote calling itself Guru. It has also called itself a senator during a period of severe delusion.
It's Guru here, as you can see from my hat.
It wasn't that long ago when esteemed radio host John Laws gave his opinion to the scrote about his self-appointed nickname.
Dave Guru, I mean, how intelligent is that? Would you really expect somebody within their right mind, to vote for a clown who calls himself Dave Guru?
The scrote faces many difficulties in life. One of those difficulties is illicit substance abuse. Here is some captured audio of the scrote involved in an illegal drug purchase.
Nah, that was choice, man, but tomorrow night, you reckon I could have like a double dose? Because I'm having a really easy day before Parliament.
The scrote appears to believe that taking drugs makes one more, quote-unquote, awake. By awake, the scrote means susceptible to conspiratorial thinking. This type of illogical thinking is quite prolific amongst many species of Cuccus erectus.
But all these people who have been out there and maybe had a micro or so, or had a few cones, or done this or done that, they seem to be the people who were aware and awake to what was going on.
Scientists believe the "what was going on" refers to the lunatic theory that so-called global elites are capturing and eating babies. The scrote elaborates a bit further.
Reminds me of the old 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, less cheese, because under an SC bun. We used to say within 2.5 seconds to win a burger in the old days when McDonald's wasn't made out of baby meat.
The scrote has an insatiable desire for media attention. Earlier on this year, the scrote became volatile and aggressive when it was denied a radio appearance. It threatened the radio station with an attack by 20,000 subspecies of Cuccus delusionus, another species we will be looking at in future episodes.
I'm going to have 20,000 people lock up your radio station. Do you understand me? 20,000 people locking up your station this morning if I don't get on air. This is what you guys do. I hope you have a really good day for knocking me back, mate, because you're not going to have a very good day. I haven't been misled. I'm going to come up to your studio today, mate.
The scrote goes on in a petulant, aggrieved manner, and then makes a strange reference to some farm machinery.
Okay, so let's plough.
Then, in a visual display of aggression, the scrote raises its arms in an apparent attempt to intimidate a radio station who cannot see or hear him. In an unfortunate turn of events, the scrote was arrested for his behaviour, had an apprehended violence order placed against him, and was charged with harassment. The case is still moving through the courts, and the police still have his electronic equipment. It is unknown what the police might be looking for, but one can hazard a guess.
I'm passionate about this kid thing, okay? I love kids.
Strangely, the scrote, initially at least, seemed pleased to have been arrested. It is believed that this may be a result of imbibing a double dose.
All right, good evening, family. How are we? Exciting times at the moment, isn't it? Do you think we've been doing a pretty good job out there, guys? I think we have. All right, you've got me arrested. But we've got me arrested, all of us together. All right, but what a great thing.
The scrote is unusually open about his masturbatory habits. Scientists are unsure if this relates to his scrotum being on his face or whether it is some other evolutionary aberration.
And I started to tell everyone in the crowd how I could help them with masturbation and having an orgasm because I think I'm pretty talented. So people, would you like to come over and have a listen to me? And, Guru will let you know a better way to get off. You know what I mean?
Strangely, despite the Scrote being known as a public menace and being despised by the entire township in which he lives, the Scrote decided to run for a position in the Parliament of New South Wales. It is understood that the Bosie, a subspecies of Cuccus dictatoris, which we touched on in an earlier episode, was the instigator of this ludicrous idea. The Bosie made it clear what its intentions were. We have omitted the parts about hanging everyone as we are trying to keep the program PG, but I can tell you that it was menacing.
We are getting in to tear the place down.
Some say it was obvious from the beginning that the Scrote and the Bosie would follow in their Orange God's footsteps and claim the election was stolen. Claims of impropriety were being made about stolen votes and even computer tampering.
Right, we need your votes in the room. We're not going to let them remove anything on Saturday. There's going to be too many of us, guys. So they're going to have to cheat from internally, some other way. And hopefully this is why we need scrutineers. Register, get in there, stop this.
Just so you understand, when I say it's difficult, I have a supercomputer. My model is like top of the notch. It's a Ferrari.
A Ferrari indeed. That creature is called a quaz and is a subspecies of Cuccus delusionus. We might cover the quaz in a later episode, but probably not because I hate that cunt. As far as stolen votes go, there is evidence that boxes of Group U votes were found stashed away in the most unlikely of places. The votes themselves appeared to attract a different species altogether, the canine. The story of the Scrote is a long one, and we don't have time today to explore the full history, including its complete criminal record, its support for oppressive regimes, its harassment of children's surf life-saving lessons, or how it screams for home when it feels slighted or rejected. We may cover the Scrote again in a later episode. Thank you for joining me today. Fortunately, the Scrote is an extremely rare creature. Only 3 other Scrotes have ever been born, and 2 of them were drowned at birth. Having genitalia growing on your face is correlated with low IQ. Perhaps that is why the Scrote is considered one of Flat Earth's most stupid creatures. I hope you'll join me again for the next episode of Life on Flat Earth. I don't know. It does look flat to me.